1. Overview. 1.1. Preface. Distinguished clients, I want to express my sincere gratitude for your trust and support to select Sani Crane products. Sani Hosting Machinery consists of 5 series of truck crane, all-terrain crane, rough terrain crane, crawler crane, and tower crane, characterized by high efficiency, stability, and security. The service life of the equipment largely depends on the proper maintenance. Correct operation and scientific maintenance offer an important guarantee to improve perfectness ratio of equipment, engineering quality, and personnel safety. Concerning under 80 tons of truck cranes, we are here to give you a detailed introduction by selecting crane STC 750 as an example. We will introduce the proper ways of operation and maintenance in detail for the STC 750 crane by virtue of VCR aimed at improving the working safety and happiness of your family. 1.2. Introduction. Under the 3 meters of working range for STC 750 crane, maximum rated lifting capacity reaches 75 tons, featuring with 45 meters fully extended boom and 45 meters maximum lifting height. What's more, it can work in a way of simultaneous extension and retraction of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th boom. With maximum rated power of 275 kilowatts, emissions comply with Euro 3 standard. STC 750 crane uses Sani SYML movement limiter with the purpose of providing the safe and effective protection for your sake. Hydraulic system main pump, main valve, winch motor, and balance valve and other key hydraulic components are configured in international high-end level, providing good controllability, high reliability, and competence in complex working conditions. 1.3. Safety knowledge. At many large construction sites in the world, you can often see that Sani cranes lift the important parts stably and safely. For the reason Sani cranes can be able to complete a variety of complex and difficult works excellently, in addition to its excellent performance, the operators have superb skills and a strong sense of safety. So please wear your warning vest, anti-smashing shoes, protective goggles, helmet, and so on. Introduction of complete machine. This machine mainly contains 6 systems of boom, turntable, superstructure operation, hydraulic system, electric system, and chassis. The nameplate of equipment provides a detailed knowledge of the parameters of its dimension, weight, and power. The driver's cab adopts the ergonomic principles in design. Its steering wheel height adjustable with wide view and standard cold and warm air conditioner. Various instrument panels are available in the driver's cab of dual barometer, tachometer, oil manometer, water thermometer, speedometer, voltmeter, and fuel gauge. These are key switch, cigarette lighter, rocker switch, and combined switch. If an emergency occurs, the pre-warning indicator lamp shall be turned on. This is the operation panel of cold and warm air conditioner aimed at realizing the setup of air conditioner switch, wind speed, direction, etc. Under the operator's cab, there is warm air switch of air conditioner. This is brake bar, gear shift operating rod, power takeoff switch, throttle, and clutch. The operator's cab is installed with high-strength tempered glass, and the transmittance is good, equipped with full cover softening upholstery. The seat is adjustable, and its indoor noise is low. The control panel of the electric cabinet can achieve lots of functions. The left and right pilot control handles are located respectively on the left, right armrest boxes of the operator's cab. Through the display screen, every single operation will be clear, and you can conduct each control on the operation page. In the operator's cab, there is air conditioning system for cold and warm air. 2. However, operation of chassis. 2.1. Precautions before operating. Before working, you must check solidity, load-bearing, and pressure-resistant capacity of the work ground. Before operating the crane, the following items shall be checked. 1. Fix the main hook and retract every boom and the front jack to the proper position. 2. Check steering drive shaft, booster pump, booster cylinder, and whether connecting part is firm or not. 3. Check the front left first axle, including 2 tires for air pressure and appearance, wing nuts, tire air chamber, horse riding bolts, and so on. Check the wear situation of the main drive shaft once a week to ensure driving safety. 4. Open the outrigger control box at the left side to ensure the emergency stop switch had been reset. Otherwise, you cannot start the engine. Same for the control box at right side. 5. Now check the left front outrigger. More details shall be concerned at this part. First, check hydraulic lock, the outrigger telescope rope, telescope wheels, and relevant oil pipes for damage, loose and oil leaking risks. Check the electromagnetic valve to ensure that the wire plug is inserted firmly and that no oil leaks from the oil pipe. At last, outrigger plates shall be fixed firmly and the vertical cylinder shall be retracted to its proper position. Of course, we shall check the other 3 outriggers in the same way. 6. Check that the oil-water separator and fuel pipes are free of cracks or oil leakage. Meanwhile, check that those several air tanks cannot be loose and the air pipes are free of cracks. At this moment, please look up to check whether the turntable fixed pin is locked. This pin should be locked when traveling. 7. Check the rear left third and fourth axle, including 4 tires for air pressure, appearance, wheel nuts, the tire air chamber, and horse riding bolts, and so on. The opposite third and fourth axles shall also be checked in the same way. 8. Standing between the third and the fourth axles, check the pipes and lines under the control room and on the main valve for damaged oil pipes and broken lines. 9. At the rear of the crane, make sure that the spare tires and reversing cameras work normally, and then lift your head up to make sure no oil leakage from the oil cooler. 10. Check the right rear rigger, third and fourth axles in the same method as the left side. 11. Check the air conditioning pipes on the turntable and the ones on the slewing mechanism for oil leakage or damaged oil pipe. Special attention shall be paid to ensure that fixed bolts on the rotary reducer are not missed or loose, and that output shaft shall be free of crack. 12. Make sure that the oil level of the hydraulic tank is above the specified level line. And check the front right rigger and the front right first and second axles in the same method as Step 3 and Step 5. 13. Climb up to the platform with ladder using 3-point fixation method to check batteries, coolant, power steering tank, brake oil, and open the engine hood to check the engine. Check whether all engine parts are loose by shaking them. After completion of the above works, you can enter into the operator's cab to start the next operation. 2.2. Getting into, out of driver's cab. Prior to entering into the operator's cab, 1. You must use handrail and pedal to support your body tightly by means of 3-point support, and you shall not jump up or off the crane. 2. Do not climb up or down the crane with something in hand. You can climb up or down only after it has been fully, steadily stopped. 2.3. Operation of driver's cab. When you enter into the driver's cab, sitting at the driver's seat, first adjust the seat to the comfortable position and reset all rocker switches to the non-working positions respectively. Do remember to check and ensure that the power takeoff rocker switch is at off state and set the gear lever to the neutral position. 1. Insert the key into the key switch and turn it until the electric circuit is connected. Check whether all instrument values are normal. If an alarm is issued, be sure to find out the cause and take measures. 2. Push down the clutch pedal slightly and meanwhile rotate the start key to start the engine. Time of each start shall not be more than 5 to 8 seconds. If the first start fails, wait for 1 minute and start it again. And if it fails for 3 to 5 times, you shall stop to check the reason. 3. Push down throttle slightly after starting the engine to keep it running at an idle speed for a certain period of time. Before traveling, make sure that all instruments of the crane must be normal. 1. The start of machine will be later than the engine starting, parking brake releasing, and pushing down of the clutch pedal. 2. Set the transmission handle to gear 1. Release the clutch pedal slowly, slightly step on the throttle, and then the machine can be started. 3. To shift the gear of transmission, you shall push the clutch pedal to disconnect the clutch completely. Set the operating handle to the position required and then release the clutch pedal. 4. This machine's single H gear shift is a kind of gear shift used on a combined transmission. If the transmission shifts within low gear zone, gear 1 to 4, or high gear zone, gear 5 to 8, it is controlled directly by gear lever. 5. If it shifts from low gear zone to high gear zone or vice versa, you shall simultaneously operate the gear lever and the high and low gear shift switch on gear lever handle. The brake system of this vehicle contains 1. Traveling brake and parking brake. Traveling brake is controlled by pedal and its dual-circuit pneumatic brake with 0.79 megapascals rated working pressure. The handbrake is located at the right side of the driver's seat, by which emergency and parking brake can be done. You can pull the handbrake handle to lock position to park the crane. 2. The exhaust brake switch is located on the left handle of the combined switch. If the end face of the left handle is downwards, the exhaust brake will be in work state, and meanwhile the exhaust brake indicator lamp will be on. If the left handle is set to the position, the exhaust brake will be closed and the lamp will be off. 2 requirements must be met to use the exhaust brake. 1. Not to push the clutch and the throttle. The gear shall not be in neutral. 2. The rotation speed of engine must be between 1,300 to 2,200 RPM. Power takeoff operation steps. 1. You shall first let the parking brake be in a brake state and ensure that the gear lever and power takeoff are definitely in neutral and disconnected state. 2. Push the clutch pedal to its limit position while starting the engine. Pull the transmission to a required gear position 4. Connect the power takeoff and slowly release the clutch pedal. Now the power takeoff's indicator shall be on. 2.4 Outrigger Operation Panel. Attention! The left outrigger controller controls the front left, rear left horizontal outriggers, and the one on the right side controls the front right, rear right horizontal outriggers. Operation to extend horizontal and vertical outriggers shall be as follows. 1. Connect the power takeoff to make sure that the oil pump is working. 2. Turn on the outrigger master power switch in the driver's cab. 3. Pull out the horizontal outrigger lock pin and install the outrigger tray. 4. Open the outrigger control box door and press the start switch. 5. Turn on the outrigger working lamp switch. 6. Constantly press the horizontal outrigger extension button. 7. When the 4 horizontal outriggers all extend out in place, constantly press all vertical outrigger extension switch and level the frame. With respect to the crane leveling operation, observe the level meter. If the central level indicator lamp comes on, it indicates that the crane is leveled, or otherwise you need to make it level. 8. Follow the work condition and select to extend out the front jack. Constantly press the front jack extension button until the front jack plate is about 5 millimeters away from the ground, and then release the button. 9. To extend and retract the counterweight cylinder, press the counterweight cylinder control button in the outrigger control box. 10. With all works finished, turn off 3. Operation of superstructure. 3.1. Getting into and out of operator's cab. Before getting into and out of the operator's cab, attention shall be paid. 1. Do not jump up and off the machine. Do not use any control lever as aid for hands. You shall remove soil, oil fouling, and water on all pedals, handrails, and shoes at any time. 2. Prior to entering in superstructure operator's cab, the turntable lock device must be disconnected and ensure no any load on the superstructure when leaving. Make the turntable lock pin at the lock state. 3.2. The extraction of main hook. The extraction of main hook is as follows. 1. Extend out outriggers and set the crane level. 2. Enter into the operator's cab to check whether all switches are at the neutral position. 3. Turn on the lock switch to give the power supply to the system. This switch can be used to start the engine, and turn on the master control switch. 4. Slightly lower the main winch to make the original tight rope loose. 5. Remove the clamp pin to carry out the lifting and lowering operation of the main hook, featuring with a certain tension on the rope in case of loose coil on the main winch. For this action, sometimes you shall use the compulsory switch to get rid of the height limit. 6. Luffing up until the main hook is away from the turntable, you shall remove the fixing rope, located between the main hook and the chassis. 7. Slowly lift the main hook and rotate the turntable for the next operation. 3.3. Instruction of superstructure operation. The left handle controls boom telescoping, auxiliary hook block lifting up and down, and slewing. The right one controls main hook block lifting up and down, boom luffing. Operating through the lever to luff up or down the boom, pull the right handle right and left if you want to make it. And its luffing speed shall be controlled by control handle and throttle, in which attention shall be paid to the following items. 1. Only vertical load hosting is permitted. Do not drag a load horizontally. 2. Do not exceed the boom luffing angle limit value. 3. During the start and stop of luffing operation, do conduct the operation slowly. In the luffing down process, pay attention to overload and prevent the luffing down overload situation. Before conducting slewing movement, make sure whether the mechanical lock device had been disconnected. If you pull the left handle to the right, the turntable should turn right. If you pull the left handle to the left, it should turn left. Attention! Before the start of slewing operation, you shall check and make sure that the outrigger base is in accordance with the acquired value. Before slewing operation, check whether there is overload working condition in the whole operation process. Make sure of the sufficient workspace. Operate slewing action slowly and stably. After pressing the master control switch tens, the boom will telescope out if pushing forward the left handle, and it will retract back if pulling it backward. The speed shall be regulated by the movement of handle and the throttle. Telescoping the load shall be strictly forbidden. Attention! Hoisting operation shall be conducted to make the height of hoisting hook suitable during the extension and retraction of boom. Press main control switch and push the right handle forward to lower the main hook. Pull the right handle backward to lift it up. After pressing main control switch, with telescopic auxiliary winch changeover switch also pressed, push the left handle forward to lower the auxiliary hook. Pull the left handle backward to lift it. Note: 1. Do not violently pull up the control handle of the lifting mechanism. 2. Before the lifting operation, check the hook to make sure whether it is normal before lifting. If the lifting load does not leave the ground, leave it from the ground only with luffing up operation rather than telescopic operation. 3. Depending on the length of lifting boom, select the appropriate wire rope rate according to the lifting performance table. 4. If the lifting hook rotates due to winding of wire rope, the wire rope shall be unrolled fully before lifting. 5. Vertically lifting the load is only allowed rather than dragging the load on the ground to prevent side load. 6. If the load does not leave the ground completely, slowly operate the handle and then accelerate only when the load leaves the ground. 7. Pay attention to the wire rope of the reel while operating hoisting. 2 actions can be carried out during operation. 3.4. Use of pulley at the boom end. Single pulley at the boom end shall be applied to lift the relatively lighter load. Although the weight of load that is capable to lift is limited, the lifting time will be obviously shortened to improve the lifting boom working efficiency as single rope is used. For single pulley at boom end, only auxiliary lifting system wire rope, and auxiliary hook shall be used for lifting operation. For auxiliary hoisting operation, specific steps as follows. 1. Extend out the crane outriggers and level the crane. 2. Rotate the turntable to the lateral and rear side of the frame to lower the boom completely. 3. Pull out the clamp pin and then the insert pin too. 4. Rotate the single pulley at the boom head to the front around the inserted pin 1. 5. Align the insert pin hole on the pulley frame at the boom head with the corresponding mounting hole on the head of boom, and then insert the plug pin 2. 6. Insert the clip pin to fix the pulley on the head of boom. 7. Hang the wire rope of auxiliary lifting system over the pulley at the top of the boom and the single pulley at the boom head. Retract the single pulley at the boom head in a reverse order for the mounting step. 3.5. Use of jib. Jib shall be mounted as follows. 1. Retract the main boom completely and then lower it at the rear side of the crane. 2. Dismantle the pin 1 on the jib and rotate the jib around the plug pin 2 to align the jib pin hole with the boom pin hole and then assemble the plug pin A. 3. Remove the plug pin 2 and rotate the whole jib around the pin shaft A to align the pinhole on the other side of jib with the corresponding pinhole on the main boom, and then assemble the plug pin B. 4. Remove the wire rope from the intermediate pulley at the head of the main boom. 5. Reeve the wire rope through the jib roller and the pulley at the head of jib. 6. Install the height limit switch and connect the plug on the jib with a connector socket on the head of boom. 7. Install the auxiliary hook. Adjust the angle of installation of the jib. Install the jib under 0 degree state and then lower the jib until the head touches the ground. Dismantle the pin on the connecting plate and put it in the corresponding 15 degree or 30 degree hole. 8. Slowly lift the boom to make the jib at the working state. Take the auxiliary hook out of the auxiliary hook bucket vertically. Then, release the auxiliary wire rope from the auxiliary winch to reeve the wire rope through the pulley at the boom end. Wind the auxiliary wire rope on the wedge rope groove and then assemble them into the wedge sleeve, and mount the rope clip and tighten the nuts. By aligning the wedge sleeve mounting hole with the mounting hole on the top of the auxiliary hook, assemble the pin and fix it with the cotter pin. Retraction steps are opposite to the removal ones. 3.6. Wire rope rates changing over. The wire rope rates changing over is as follows. 1. Extend out outriggers and retract completely the lifting boom, and then slew it to the lateral or the rear end. 2. Lower the boom and place the hook on the ground. 3. Remove clamp pin and take out pin shaft to disengage wedge socket from top boom section. 4. Release the rope clip nuts to push the wire rope and wedge out of the wedge sleeve. 5. Release and remove the rope shaft on the top boom and retract the wire rope from the pulley groove on the hook. 6. Dismantle the ballast of the overwinding protective device. 7. Re-reeve the wire rope according to the required rate. 8. Assemble the rope sleeve at the end of the wire rope and fasten it with the rope clip. 9. Fix the rope sleeve on the hoisting hook or the boom according to corresponding ratio. Specific attention shall be paid to hang up the wire rope. 1. Where the rope socket at the rope end should be installed depending on odd-even variation rate. When the rate is even, install the rope socket into the boom. When the rate is odd, install the rope socket onto the hook block. 2. Where the weight of overwind protection device should be installed depending on odd-even variation of rate. When the rate is even, install the weight onto the rope branch with wedge sleeve. When the rate is odd, install the weight onto the branch of neighboring rope. 3.7 Shutdown. Stop the crane as follows. 1. If jib is used, retract the boom and lower it to the rear of crane. 2. Remove the auxiliary hook and place it into the auxiliary hook cylinder at right of the boom bracket. 3. When auxiliary wire rope retracts by the control handle, fix its head at the edge of the rear box on the turntable. 4. Retract the jib and fix it at one side of boom. 5. If the jib is not used, from this step, operate the handle to make the boom slowly close to the boom bracket, with main wire rope retracted simultaneously. 6. After the main rope is retracted to a proper length, let the boom lean against the bracket and fix the main hook block to chassis platform plate. 7. Operate panel and retract outriggers. 8. Press the stop switch to shut down the engine. Pull out the key and disconnect the power switch and reset all other switches to off state. 9. Shut the operator's cab and lock it. 4. Maintenance of mechanism. 4.1 Notes of maintenance. Notes of the maintenance work as follows. 1. Do not adjust or disassemble any hydraulic component. 2. Do not modify the crane oil circuit and lines without permission. 3. Warranty application shall be applied for abnormal phenomenon. 4. Make inspections and maintenance regularly and be familiar with inspection and maintenance methods. 4.2 Maintenance for chassis. Chassis maintenance is conducted according to certain rules. Initial check rule. Conduct the first check at 1,500 kilometers. Mileage rule for routine check. Make the first inspection at 5,000 kilometers and then once every increase of 10,000 kilometers. Mileage rule for first-class maintenance. Make the first inspection at 10,000 kilometers and then once every increase of 20,000 kilometers. Mileage rule for second-class maintenance. Make the first inspection at 20,000 kilometers and then once every increase of 40,000 kilometers. A routine check contains 1. Check the oil levels in the main reducer and the wheel side reducer. 2. Check the action of wiper. 3. Check the towing hook for fixation and action. 4. Check wheel nuts for fixation. 5. Drain the air reservoir. 6. Check whether the carriage bolts are fixed firmly and tighten them if necessary. 7. Check the electric system, signal lamp, headlamp, side marker lamp, wiper, heater, and ventilation device for working conditions. 8. Check correctness of the rotation speed of electric tachometer. The first-class maintenance focuses on lubricating and fastening. Besides routine maintenance, main contents also include the following items. 1. Cleaning. It is mostly to clean vehicle body, chassis, and to wipe engine, each part of chassis, and clean fuel pump, air filter, and to replace engine oil filter cartridges. 2. Fastening inspection. Check the connections, bolts, and nuts of engine, chassis, seat, each peripheral part of the vehicle body for fixation. Test and tighten them if necessary. Special attention shall be paid to the specified torque. 3. Adjustment. Check the engine belt for tightness. Free movement distance of brake and clutch pedals, amount of free swing of steering wheel, movement distance of parking brake joystick. 4. Tire operation. Inflate as per requirements. Equip enough inflating valve cap and check whether there's serious scratch on outer surface of the tire. The second-class maintenance focuses on inspection and adjustment. Maintenance items include 1. Perform maintenance as all the items of primary maintenance. 2. Clean fuel filters, replace paper coarse fuel filter cartridges. 3. Check clutch master and slave pumps for oil amount. 4. Dismantle the wheel brake for inspection. Clean, lubricate, and adjust the gap between the hub bearing and the brake friction plate and brake drum, and replace the wheel position. 5. Replace lubricating oil of engine, transmission, intermediate, and rear axles. 6. Discharge deposits in the fuel tank and clean the fuel filter. 7. Check the valve clearance and adjust it if necessary. 8. On demand, remove the injector pump and oil transfer pump for inspection. Check the oil pressure and oil spray and adjust them if necessary. 9. Check cylinder cover nuts for fixation and tighten them to required torques in hot state. 10. Check and adjust the free travel of clutch and brake pedals. 11. Check the steering gear tank oil level and fill it to the required surface if insufficient. 12. Check the steering wheel for free rotation amount and adjust it if necessary. 13. Check the transmission shaft cross bearing and intermediate bearing for looseness and any flange nuts for tightening. 14. Check and adjust toe-in. 15. Check the front leaf spring U-bolts, rear leaf spring locking bolts, and shackle for tightness and tighten the bolts. 16. Clean and lubricate the starter and generator bearings. 17. Check the brake and clutch pipelines for oil or air leak and promptly tighten or replace. 18. Check the pneumatic brake system and clean or replace air filter cartridge. The crane also needs third-class maintenance. For detailed third-class maintenance, please refer to the Product Operation and Maintenance Manual and contact Service Department of SANY or engine manufacturer. With respect to the replacement of engine oil, stop the engine and unscrew the drain plug on the oil sump and on the oil filter and drain the engine oil out when the oil is still hot, and then tighten the drain plug firmly and inject the engine oil from the oil inlet until the full scale. After adding the engine oil, run the engine at idle for several minutes. After about 30 minutes, when the engine stops, oil shall flow completely back to the oil tank, and then oil level shall be checked. Then add the oil full if the level is lower than the full scale. At last, check it for oil leakage. When inspecting the engine oil level, replace the oil if it is badly black. For a new vehicle, after working for 30 to 50 hours, the engine oil shall be replaced. During the oil replacement, the engine oil filter cartridge shall also be replaced. Replacing the filter needs special filter wrench and see attached engine operation and maintenance instruction for detailed method. Do conduct maintenance as specified. Diesel filter shall be cleaned as follows. 1. Place the container under the drain plug of the fuel filter. 2. Unscrew the air cock and oil drain plug to drain the diesel and sediment out of the filter. 3. Unscrew the long central bolts and remove the filter oil bottle, filter, spring seat, and spring. 4. Wash all parts with diesel rather than filter cartridge. 5. Assembly the gasket on the long central bolt and then insert them into the oil filter bottle. Assemble the spring, spring seat, and filter on the oil filter bottle in order. And at last, assemble the gasket and O-ring and screw the long central bolt into the oil filter cover. 6. Drain the air out with the hand oil pump. 7. Check them for oil leakage. 2 items shall be specially noted. The first is do not wash the filter. The second is to check the filter for clogging or dirty state. If series clogged or dirtied or running for 1,000 hours, replace it with new filter cartridge that matches with the original filter. For each disassembly, replace O-ring and gaskets. Air filter in the power system shall be swept and washed. For sweeping, disengage the latch to pull out the side cover and filter element, and then sweep the air filter bottle and side cover, and insert the filter element slightly and then tighten the nuts. At last, press the side cover on the air filter bottle and then lock the latch. Cleaning shall be performed as follows. 1. Dissolve the detergent with 40 degrees centigrade warm water. 2. Soak the filter element into the cleaning solution for about 30 minutes to wash it for 4 to 5 times. 3. Take the filter cartridge out and raise it to remove dirt and cleaning solution away, with not too large washing force applied. 4. Throw away the water and then dry the filter element. 5. After filter element becomes dirty, place the bulb inside to check the filter paper for damage, small pore, or thin part. If poor or damaged gasket is found, replace it with new one. Before use of the new axle, add number 90 heavy load gear oil to the reducer to the oil holes level, with about 12 liters added. And then add sufficient number 2 lithium-based grease into all lubricating nozzles. After the use of new axle, the vehicle must take the run-in for 1,500 kilometers, readjust the brake clearance, and recheck fastenings before normal operation. Fastenings do not include glued bolts. When the clearance between the brake pad and brake drum is too large, this may affect the braking performance of the whole vehicle. At this time, adjust the worm hex head on the boom with wrench. First rotate it counterclockwise to make the clearance equal to 0, and then rotate it clockwise until 2 steel ball falling off sounds are heard. At this time, the clearance is 0.5 to 1 millimeter. For detailed maintenance of traveling system, please refer to the product operation and maintenance manual. Now, I'd like to introduce the maintenance of steering system to you. For steering gear maintenance, you need to notice the items below. 1. Do not let the truck to slide after flameout to prevent accident caused by the heavy steering due to the shutdown of the engine. 2. If a fault occurs to the steering system due to the oil pump or oil way, the steering gear can be taken as a mechanical one to force the truck to turn and reach the repair station, but long-term force steering is not allowed. 3. The inside of the power steering system must be kept clean, and the work oil face in the system shall not be lower than the standard required. 4. When the truck travels in a straight line, if the steering wheel free travel is found to be too large or small, you shall check the steering universal joint and the pull rod system. 5. When steering, turning the steering wheel to its limit positions is permitted, But don't do this for too long a time to prevent reducing the service life of the oil pump. When adding the oil into the steering system, please follow the following points. 1. When the oil tank is full with oil from the oil inlet, start the engine and then shut it off to check the oil level in the oil tank, and then add oil repeatedly several times until the oil level reaches the specified value. 2. Start the engine to run it for 2 minutes at idling speed, and then shut down the engine to check the oil level in the oil tank. Restart the engine and turn the steering wheel to the leftmost and rightmost to check the oil level. If necessary, add the oil until the oil level reaches the specified level. Steering system shall be exhausted as follows. 1. Run the engine at idle speed and turn the steering wheel to leftmost and rightmost for several times. 2. Unscrew the exhaust screw one circle to make the steering device at intermediate position to exhaust the air and vaporize oil liquid. When the pure clean oil flows out, tighten the exhaust screw and then check the oil level and add oil. We'd like to remind you that the tightening torque for air exhaust screws shall be 4 to 6 Newton meters. Don't turn under loose exhaust screw state, otherwise air will enter the system. 4.3 Maintenance for Superstructure. Superstructure maintenance consists of regular maintenance, monthly maintenance, and yearly maintenance. We are here to give you a detailed introduction by selecting monthly maintenance as an example. If your machine needs a monthly maintenance, it shall be dominated by professional maintenance staff and participated by the operator. See details as follows. 1. Hydraulic oil tank. Check and analyze on oil quality, clean or replace filter cartridge. Technical specification, no contamination, no abnormal color or odor from oil. 2. Slewing mechanism. Check and tighten the slewing ring bolts and adjust the brake clearance. Technical specification, tightening torque is 1,350 plus or minus 50 Newton meters, and slewing brake clearance is 0.1 to 0.25 millimeters. 3. Hoisting mechanism. Check the wire rope, tighten connecting bolts, and adjust brake. Technical specification, wire rope shall be replaced if scrap standard is complied with. Tighten with specified tightening torque, clearance between brake and brake drum 0.8 to 1.0 millimeters. 4. Hydraulic components. Check. Technical specification, no damage on pipeline, no leakage on joint, normal operating of pump and motor, no abnormal noise or overheat, no serious wear on hydraulic cylinder, no leakage on valves, no block, normal pressure for accumulator. 5. Boom and jib, pulley and hook. Check. Technical specification, no deformation, damage, no block on pulley. 6. Shaft pin and brush. Check. Lubricate. Technical specification, no serious wear, add lubricating grease per 8 hours. 7. Lubrication. Check. Add. Technical specification, check the quality and quantity of each drive gear oil, add lubricating grease to each lubricating point, eliminate leakage. 8. Safety protector warning device. Check. Test. Technical specification, flexible transmission, complete warning label, error for moment limiter no more than plus or minus 5%. 9. Performance of complete vehicle. Check. Test. Technical specification, normal operation of transmission device, correct indicating of instrument, reliable brake function, clean vehicle, complete attached devices, excellent outrigger function. For detailed regular and yearly maintenance, please refer to the Product Operation and Maintenance Manual. Routine inspection shall be often performed for some important parts of crane, such as boom, jib, drum and wire rope, hooks and pulley, control lever and pedal. 4.4. Lubrication and oil. Machine lubrication and maintenance can be conducted based on lubricating map. What you see now in the video is just the lubricating map of chassis and superstructure. For detailed lubricating method, please refer to the product operation and maintenance manual. Here, special attention shall be paid to one point: not to mix hydraulic oil, gear oil, and lubricating grease together of different brand. Regarding maintenance, firstly, you shall pay attention to the selection of oil and coolant. A proper oil shall be chosen according to the difference of seasonal air temperature. For the detailed use, you may refer to the oil table. As for the selecting of coolant, it is recommended to use a long-run, effective 4-season universal antifreeze whose minimum effective temperature shall be lower than minimum temperature. Attention! If the oil is found to be badly polluted, it shall be replaced even not in oil replacement period. The oil level needs to be checked frequently and refill it if the level is lower than the required value. Specific replacement steps for all kinds of oil refer to SOM. 4.5. Replacement of wire rope. The wire rope shall be replaced in case of the following problem. Percentage of broken wires per strand is up to 10%, except for rope core. Diameter is decreased more than 7% of nominal diameter. When wire rope has been knotted, obvious deformations, for example strand sagging, result in splice and corrosion of steel wire. Wire rope is replaced as follows. 1. Lower the main hook down to the ground. 2. Remove the rope sleeve from the bottom top or main hook. 3. Pull out wire rope from the rope sleeve. 4. Pull the wire rope out of the reel. 5. Remove the wire rope from the reel. 6. Reeve the new wire rope through one pulley at boom top. 7. Fix the wire rope end on the main winch drum. 8. Roll up wire rope. 9. Reeve wire rope on pulleys on the top of boom and hook according to the corresponding rate. 10. Assemble the rope sleeve and rope clip on the wire rope. 11. Assemble the rope sleeve on the boom top or hook according to the corresponding rate. 12. Luffing up the boom to the large angle and extend it, and then lower the hook until the wire rope on the drum is put to last 3 circles. 13. Lift a heavy load with weight of 30% of maximum allowable value for single wire rope, and then reeve the wire rope on the drum. 14. Discharge heavy objects from the main hook. 4.6. Adjustment of retracting rope of boom. When boom retracts, the 4th and 5th boom cannot retract fully. This may be caused by poor adjustment of the retracting wire rope on the main boom. Therefore, wire rope shall be adjusted according to the following method. 1. With regard to adjustment of the retracting boom wire rope of the 5th boom, first open the cover plate on the head of the 5th boom to expose the nuts on the head of the pulling back wire rope. Unscrew the locking nuts and tighten the adjusting nuts until you make sure of wire rope tightened, and then tighten the locking nuts and assemble the cover. 2. With respect to adjustment of the retracting boom wire rope of the 4th boom, find out the pulling back rope sockets symmetrically with the main boom on both sides, and unscrew locking nuts and then tighten the locking nuts. Now, all operations and maintenance on STC 750 crane this video are finished. Epilogue. If you run into any problem during the crane operation and maintenance, please contact Service Department of Sani Automobile Hoisting Machinery Company Limited, and we will provide untiring service for you. Until now, we've had a clear comprehension of the basic need of the operation and maintenance for STC 750 crane. Thank you very much for your use of our products. We will always sincerely offer you our utmost caring service and wish our products can provide you with better help. Thanks.